What's going on, guys? Dragon Ball Super episode 66. Yes. So right off the bat, this episode really showed the power of a Super Saiyan Blue. At the very beginning, you had Goku basically in a key struggle battle with Merge Zamasu, and then shows his full power, completely goes right through his blast, takes Zamasu out, for that particular moment in time. We did see Goku do Kaioken again before kind of losing his power and falling out. That was dope. And I can't wait to see what happens when he starts to master that ability, or if that's something that we'll just kind of see sporadically through the series. Now, obviously the biggest thing of this episode was Vegito. Now, one of the things that they talked about this time that they didn't address in the Dragon Ball Z series was that Vegito, the kind of Potara earringed fused character, has a 1 hour time limit if you are not a Kai. Now, is that just something that they're trying to correct as far as just based off of story? They don't want to keep these characters together permanently? I'm not 100% sure, because originally they said it was a permanent fusion, but for whatever reason, when they got absorbed by Buu, that's what allowed them to separate. So I'm not 100% if they just tried to kind of allow them to separate without having to do the Dragon Balls and all that stuff. Regardless of the fact though, I'm glad that it's not a permanent fusion. But one of the dopest things that we see, obviously his own sword that he used against Majin Buu, that was dope. He was like, I can do this too. Gangsta, really love that. And then you had this final Kamehameha, which is his version of the Big Bang Kamehameha that Gogeta has. So I like that they had a combination attack. So dope, because we didn't get to see that in Vegito during the Buu saga. Now, Merge Zamasu had his internal struggle as well. You had Goku Black, who wasn't immortal, and then you had Zamasu, who was immortal, and when they fused together, that took precedence as far as the struggle that was going on in their body. Half of him was kind of this, deformed type of body, and then you had the Zamasu half that was still immortal. So he had some immortal properties still, but we see later on that he actually gets sliced in half by Trunks's, what do you call that? What do you call it? Do you call it a spirit bomb sword? I'm not 100% sure what to call it. But the fight between Merge Zamasu and Vegito, the animation was on point. The attacks, the drawing, everything of this episode was just on point. Like, it was so good, and I'm so glad that this was like the climax of the series so far. It was just so much good stuff. There was a lot of good content, not just the characters, the movesets, but the illustration and animation was just on point. So happy for that. Now, obviously the Vegeta power didn't last for long. Because of their Super Saiyan Blue ability, that shortened the time frame down significantly. Something that we've learned from previous fusions. Depending on how much energy you use, you'll burn through that fusion quicker, and this was the exact same scenario that we had with Gotenks with Super Saiyan 3. We've seen this stuff before, so I'm glad that it still stuck to those same kind of rules. And they basically got destroyed immediately. As soon as they defused, Merge Zamasu one hit both of them. That was sick. I thought that was a dope way to introduce Trunks back into it, for him to actually have the win here. This is his timeline. I'm so glad they didn't give it to Goku. I would have loved it to be Vegeta, but Vegeta had his moment of taking out Goku Black, which was dope. But I'm glad that Trunks had the W on this one. Now, speaking of Trunks, he gets handed his sword that's broken, somehow, extends it with energy, which was dope, flies at Zamasu, and then he starts attacking him, basically saving Vegeta and Goku with his sword, and they start going at an attack. He goes his Super Saiyan 2-ish blue kind of form. I'm still not sure what that is, and I hope we get more explanation of what that form is in the future. But that fight was awesome. Short-lived, because it seemed like he was doing a spirit bomb. He was absorbing all the power around him from the earth, from the people. Goku and Vegeta lend him his power as well. We see a spirit bomb above him. He goes up and absorbs it, and he uses that as his final attack. And for whatever reason, it fuses within the sword, because the sword is an energy sword. So you have that inside of a sword, and he goes to town on Zamasu, and that's what cracks him. That energy of the people of the planet was enough to actually destroy his kind of conflicted body. And I'm so glad it ended that way. I'm glad that Trunks was the one that did it, especially with a sword. It's uniquely Trunks. Like nobody else could do it because they don't handle swords. So I thought it was brilliant writing to make it seem as if like this is how he is going to be defeated. It's with this sword. Now the preview for the next episode doesn't really explain much of what's going on. We see Zeno, we see Beerus, we see Whis. I'm really curious about what your guys' thoughts are on this next episode. Do you guys think that Zamasu's completely done? Do you think that, you know, Zeno's gonna have something to do with the finalization of this whole arc? Let me know in the comment section down below what your theories are. And if you guys like this episode, if you thought Dragon Ball Super 66 was a great way to end this arc if it's ended, let me know in the comment section below as well. If you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up button, show your boy some love, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you're gonna wanna do that. Hit that ABP logo in the corner to subscribe to the channel, and if you wanna see my episode 65 review, that link will be right here. All right, guys, till next time, see you later.